morning, boys and girls. This morning we're going to start by reviewing our nursery rhyme, Humpty Dumpty, and then we're going to read our book, After the Fall, again. I want you to pay close attention to what happens at the end of the nursery rhyme and what happens at the end of the story. And then we're going to talk about those and see if the same thing happened or if they were different. Let's read our rhyme together. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. There's our pictures of what happened. First he sat on the wall and then he fell. Then all the king's horses and all the king's men tried the best they could, but they couldn't put him together again. Okay, we're going to read our story now. After the Fall. How Humpty Dumpty got back up again. Hi, my name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, up on the wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being so close to the birds. Then one day I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Kings County Hospital. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches. But day after day, I kept trying and trying until I got it just right. My plane was perfect and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds. Oops, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. They always do. I almost walked away again, but then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time. Until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Crack, crack. Hopefully you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. And learned how to fly. Boys and girls, I think the author was trying to teach us a lesson when he told us this story, and I think that he was trying to tell us that we need to not be afraid to try again, that accidents happen and we make mistakes and everybody does it, and it's okay to keep trying. I have a little poster I want to show you that I just love. I'm going to hang it in our classroom when we get back. It says, "What if I fall? Oh, my darling, what if you fly?" So Humpty Dumpty was afraid to climb back up that ladder because he said, "What if I fall?" And then a little voice whispered to him, "What if you fly?" So let's think about the way those two stories ended. The nursery rhyme and after the fall. I made a little chart. In the poem, Humpty Dumpty, nursery rhyme, he couldn't be put back together again, could he? All the king's horses and all the king's men tried, but they couldn't put him together again. The problem wasn't solved. But in our story, after the fall, he healed, he got all better, he climbed back up that wall, and he learned to fly. I love this story. I hope you love it too. See you soon.